All right, hey class, here are the instructions for the constructing food web, and we're going to be using the example from the kelp forest. All right, so our background information. Kelp forests can be seen along much of the west coast of North America. Kelp are large brown algae that live in cool, relatively shallow waters close to the shore. They grow in dense groupings, much like a forest on land. These underwater towers of kelp provide food and shelter for thousands of fish, invertebrates, and marine mammal species. Kelp forests harbor a greater variety and higher diversity of plants and animals than almost any other ocean community. Many organisms use the thick blades as a safe shelter for their young from predators or even some storms. Among the many mammals and birds that use kelp forest protection or feeding are seals, sea lions, whales, sea otters, gulls, terns, snowy egrets, great blue herons, cormorants, and shorebirds. These dense canopies of algae generally occur in cold, nutrient-rich waters. Because of their dependency upon light for photosynthesis, kelp forests form in shallow open waters and are rarely found deeper than 49 to 131 feet. So the objective is to construct a food web of a kelp forest in the Pacific Ocean. All right, so for the procedures, when constructing your food web, you must include these four organisms: the kelp, the sea urchin, the sea otter, and the great white shark. You need to use the internet to research additional organisms that can be added to the food web. And there should be a minimum of 10 organisms listed in the food web. Next, you're going to label the trophic level of each organism in the food web. So for example, next to kelp, you would write primary producer. And then we want to add color to the diagram. So here's our example as we see. So what I want you guys to do is please go ahead and copy this food web exactly. Copy this food web exactly. And let's go ahead and read it. So one of the first items it asked us to do was to draw our food web, as we said. So we were supposed to have drawn our food web. And for here, we were looking at the kelp, the sea urchin, the sea otter, and the shark. Now notice how these arrows go up. That shows that the arrows is the flow of energy. So that means that the sea urchin gets the energy from the kelp. The sea otter gets the energy from the sea urchin, and the great white shark gets the energy from the sea otter. Okay. We also have our kelp and our plankton, which are located at the bottom of the food web as our producers. So kelp and phytoplankton are our producers in this food web here. That means they are autotrophs and they make their own food. In purple is all of our primary consumers. So our primary consumers are going to eat the producers only. In this instance, we have the abalone, the sea urchin, and the mussels. So as we could see, mussels eat phytoplankton. We have sea urchin that eat kelp and phytoplankton. And then we have abalone that eat phytoplankton and kelp. The next trophic level is going to be our secondary consumers. So in our secondary consumers, we have shorebirds, we have small fish, and we have sea otters. Okay. So as we can see here, the sea otter eats mussels, it eats sea urchin, and it also eats abalone, as well as small fish. Our shorebirds eat small fish, and then the small fish eat phytoplankton. Our top consumer is the tertiary consumers, and that's going to be the great white shark and the sea lions. So great white shark is going to be our apex predator. They are the top. And great white sharks, as we can see here, they eat the sea otters, they eat small fish, and they also eat our sea lions. Sea lions get eaten by, sea lions eat small fish, and they also eat shorebirds, as we see. Okay. So what I want you to do is, as you guys are copying this down, I want you to find where is the largest food chain. Where is the largest food chain? So take a minute and look for the largest food chain. So I'm hoping that you chose this one. So let's see if we got it. So we have the great white shark, we have the sea lion, we have the shorebirds, we have the small fish, and we have the phytoplankton. So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, meaning that the great white shark eats the sea lion. So we have one chain here. The sea lion eats the shorebirds. The shorebirds eat the small fish, and the small fish eat the phytoplankton. So energy goes up the food chain, up, up, and up. All right, I hope this helped you guys out. Please make sure that when you're done copying this directly, you're going to go ahead and submit it on Canvas. And basically what I did was I drew the